Okay, so just taking a moment here to let your body settle into the floor, rolling your chest and your shoulders open, anchoring your pelvis down into the floor, and just starting to slow your breath here. Noticing any areas of your body that you're holding and gripping, and seeing if you can relax and let that go. And starting to lengthen each inhale, seeing if you can inhale maybe for a count of 4 and then exhale for 4. And if that's quite easy for you, maybe try 5. So continuing to take those deep breaths, feeling that expansion of your rib cage, front to back and side to side. And then we're going to start to move our arms now. So arms are down by your sides, palms are facing in towards the sides of your body. And then on your next inhale, we're going to start to reach the arms up towards the sky and overhead towards the floor behind you. And then as you exhale, we're going to float the arms all the way back down towards your hip. So see if you can again take those long inhales. Can you inhale for the count of maybe 4 or 5 as you go up and over, and exhale in as you come back down. Seeing if you can breathe in and out through your nose. And of course, if that's not possible and you have to breathe out through your mouth, then that's fine too. Notice as your arms go up and overhead, whether your back is trying to arch. See if you can keep your shoulder blades and the back of your rib cage down on the floor as the arms float up and over. 2 more. One more like this. And as your arms float down to your hips this time, pause there. Taking the arms out to the sides now. Arms are coming out to a T, but palms are going to face down towards the bottom of your mat, down towards your feet. Take a little breath here, and as you exhale, bring the hands back along the sides of your body, like you've got big wings. We're going to inhale as we open those arms out to that T position, and exhale as you press the hands again down towards your hip. Taking those long breaths. Two more. Last one here. As your hands come down towards your hip this time, we're going to pause there. We're going to turn the palms now to face down towards the floor and have your arms hovering just an inch or 2 off the floor. Can you now bend the elbows so that your palms are facing towards your feet, your elbows are hovering off the floor. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, press the hands back down towards the floor, straightening out your arm. Inhale as you bend the elbow, and exhale as you straighten. Little tricep press, keeping the arm just hovering off the floor. Two more. One more time. And as you straighten those arms down this time, we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Give your knees a little hug. Let's just rock gently side to side, giving your lower back a little bit of a roll out. And then we're going to keep hold of one knee and let the other foot come back down to the floor. And that leg we're holding on to, we're going to pull it deep in towards our chest. Pause in there. And then keeping hold of that leg but straighten it up towards the sky. Let's point and flex our foot here. How about those little ankle circles? And try the other way. Just waking up those legs. And then when you're ready, bring that knee deep into your chest again. Draw in, pause. And release that leg down. Let's do the other side. Bring the knee into your chest, pull it in deep. And pause. Straightening that leg up to the sky. Again, keep hold of it. Let's point and flex our foot. And then those little ankle circles. And go the other way. Good. And then when you're ready, bring that knee again deep into your chest. And lower it down to the floor. Go back to your first leg again. So bring that first leg back in. We're going to do our leg circles now. So you can choose whether that free leg is going to stay bent or you want to straighten that leg out. It's a little bit more difficult to stabilise with the straight legs. If you want a challenge, go with that. Push the heel away, pull the front of the foot towards you, and then the leg you're holding onto, take it up towards the sky. Now you can have a little bend in the knee if you need to here. And we're going to slightly turn that leg out. Anchor your arms down by your sides. Let's inhale as we bring the leg across the body and exhale as we circle that leg down, around and up, pausing as you come back to centre. Inhale, leg comes across. Exhale to circle down, around and up and pause in centre. Keep going. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up. Pause. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up and pause. Last one this way. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up, pause. Make sure we're turned out. Let's go the other way. Inhale as your leg goes out this time. Exhale, down, around and up. Inhale, leg goes out. Exhale, circle, down, around and up. Keep going. Inhale, out. Exhale, back to the start. 2 more. Last time. And as that leg comes back into centre this time, we're going to scissor the leg. So can you lower that leg and lift the other? Again, you can have that free leg bent or you can keep it out long. Push the heel away. Leg up to the sky is turned out. Let's circle. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up and pause. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up and pause. 3 more. In your own time, just remembering to add that little pause just to keep that nice control so that we're not flinging and just swinging our leg around. When you've done your 5, check that we're still turned out and go the other way. Inhale, leg goes out. Exhale, down, around and up. Keep going. Trying to keep the rest of your body from rocking and rolling. You're trying to keep fairly still. When you've done your 5 in each direction, you're just going to draw your knees into your chest. If you're not quite finished yet, don't worry. Finish them off. And then join us again for a little knee hug and a little rock and roll on your mat now. Letting the feet come down to the floor. We're going to keep feet and knees together and open those arms out to a T. This time palms are going to face up towards the sky and we're going to roll our chest and shoulders open. Letting both knees roll gently to one side and letting your head roll in the opposite direction. When you're ready, coming in through centre and over to the other side. Let's do a few little spine twists here from one side to the other. Try to keep your shoulder blades, back of your ribs down on the floor. Good. And then as you come in through centre this time, we're going to bring the knees back into our chest again for a moment. But this time we're going to keep the knees in and let your arms come back down to the floor. And we're going to straighten one leg out. So when you're ready, just reach one leg as far away from you as you can. Let's point those toes to stretch. And then just draw that knee back in towards your chest. Other side, reach the leg long, point the toes, stretch, and then draw that leg back in. Let's use our breath. Let's inhale as we reach the leg away, and then exhale as we draw it back in. Inhale as you reach, and exhale, draw back in. One more like that on each side. And then pause there. We're going to add on a little bit this time. So don't worry about your breathing first. Let's do the movement and then we'll add the breath. Just breathe normally. So reach that leg away from you again. And then lower that leg down towards the floor. Now only take it as far as you can control your pelvis. If you start to arch your back, don't go any lower. And then float that leg back up and then bend in. Let's try the other side. So reach the leg long first, stretch. Lowering that leg down towards the floor, but only as far as you can keep your pelvis still. And then lifting that leg back up and draw that knee back in. Now I just want you to breathe however makes sense to you. So I like to inhale as I reach. I exhale as I lower, but then I take a little breath in at the bottom and then I exhale as I lift. I take a little breath in again and exhale to draw in because I like to take lots of breaths. So that's quite confusing. So I just want you to breathe however makes sense for you. As long as you're breathing, we're all good. Keep switching sides, reaching the leg long, lowering the leg down, trying to keep your pelvis from tipping, lifting the leg, and drawing it back in. Again, it's that control. It's using those abdominals to stop your pelvis from rocking and rolling. And you might find when you've done a few that that leg can go that little bit lower without your pelvis having to tip. Let's do one more time. And then as your knee draws back in this time, wrap your hands around your knees, give them a little hug, and let's just rock gently side to side. We're going to take it into our little frog press now. So remember, with all of these little core exercises, if you want to, you can put a folded towel under your pelvis to stop you from rocking, or you can use that little kickstand where we make a little triangle with our first finger and thumb and just pop that under your pelvis, and that again will hold your pelvis and try and keep it nice and still. Frog press. Now we're going to bring the heels together and open the knees wide, make little frog legs. When you're ready, squeeze those heels and press those legs away from you, straightening out those legs, squeeze those inner thighs and then bend the knees back in. Little frog press. Let's go again. Squeeze the heels, press the legs away, squeeze the inner thighs and then bend back in. And we're going to keep going with this. Sending those legs away. You're kind of aiming for like a high diagonal with those legs to reach away. You can go straight up towards the sky. It's a little bit easier. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, that high diagonal is going to work those abdominals a little bit more. Can you do two more like that? Good job. And as you press those legs away this time, hold there. Legs are straight. Can you open the legs wide and then bring the heels back together and then bend the knees back in? Let's do that again. So we're going to press the legs away, straighten out those legs, and then we're going to open the legs wide, close them, squeeze the heels, bend the knees back in. And again, press and open and close and bend back in. Let's do two more. Press and open. Again, it's all nice and controlled. One more time. Good job. And as you bend the knees back in, a little knee hug again, a little rock side to side. Allowing your feet to come back down to the floor. Now let's find our cobbler here. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Let's take a moment here to release any tension through those inner thighs, to open out those hips and to take a breath. Let's go back to those long, deep breaths. While we're here, let's stretch out our hands. So reaching your arms up towards the sky now. Interlacing your fingers and flip the hands over to press your palms up. Trying to keep those ribs down as you take your arms overhead towards the floor behind you. Pressing into those hands for a stretch. Let's hold here. When you're ready, slowly bringing your hands back up to the sky. Bringing those fingers apart, give your fingers a little wriggle. Let's circle at the wrist. And circle the other way. And then gently pulling each finger in turn back to stretch out your fingers. Once you've stretched all those fingers, just giving them a little wriggle again. And letting the hands come back down towards the floor. Bringing the knees in towards each other now, and then stepping your feet and your knees to hip width apart. We're going to go into our pelvic tilt and then into a spine curl. So if you have anything under your head, just pop that out for now. Arms down by your sides. Let's take a breath in, and as you exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you. Inhale as you roll your pelvis back into that neutral position. Exhale as you tilt towards you, and inhale as you roll away. Keep going. Just rolling that pelvis gently backwards and forwards, so it's a nice release for your inner back, for your lower back. And then we're going to take it into a spine curl. So as you tilt your pelvis towards you this time, keep tilting, keep tucking that tailbone as you roll your hips up towards the sky. And then when you've gone as far as you can, you're going to gently soften and roll back down. Nice and slow. Let's do that again. So let's inhale this time as you roll up. And then exhale as you melt and you roll back down. So I'm not concerned with how high you lift, I just want it to be nice and controlled. Pushing into your heels as you roll up. And then soften as you gently roll down. Let's do 2 more like that. As you roll down after this one, you're going to bring your knees into your chest again, just for a little reset, just to relax your back. I'm going to do a few more of those little spine curls, but we're going to add the arms as well for a little bit more challenge. Now, if it's too challenging for you to do the arms as well, then just keep your arms down. You've always got that option there. So when you're ready, feet back down to the floor, feet and knees hip width apart, arms are down by your sides. So this time, tilt your pelvis towards you, and as you inhale and roll up, you're also going to reach those arms up towards the sky and overhead. And as you exhale, as rolling down through the spine, you're going to also lower those arms all the way down. So inhaling as you roll up, reaching the arms up and over. And exhale as you roll down and bringing those arms down. So you don't have to take your arms all the way overhead. You can just take your arms straight up to the sky if you feel like that's enough for you, or you're running out of breath. It's just a choice of how much range you want to have there today. Shall we do one more of those? And as you roll all the way down, bringing those knees into your chest again. And just rock gently side to side. We're going to go onto our side next for some side leg work. So when you're ready, make your way onto your side. I like to have my head propped in my hand. You can have your arm out long if you want to, whatever feels good to you. And then legs out long. And you can either have them straight or kick them slightly forwards. Again, both of those are really good options. And just see which feels better for you. We're going to reach the legs as far away from us as we can, trying to create space and length through that waist. And then we're going to lift lower that top leg. Keep reaching it away from you the whole time. Good. Keep reaching. We're going to do 2 more. And then we're going to take it into circles. So we're going to lift that top leg to hip height, and we're going to keep reaching as we do little circles here. Can you reverse, go the other way? Keep reaching. Good, and then lowering that leg down. So we're going to work the bottom leg now. So you've got a few options. You can bend this top leg and bring the knee down in front of you, or you can have that foot flat and that knee up towards the sky, or you can take that leg behind. So you've got a few little options. See what feels better for you. I'm going to go with knee down in front this morning. And then that bottom leg, we want to have that foot flat, and we're going to lift and lower that bottom leg. Lift and lower. So we're working the inner thigh of the bottom leg now. Doesn't matter how high you lift, just keep it controlled. Good job. 2 more like that. One more time. Good, and then we're going to just switch straight over onto the other side. So come on up and over to the other side. So same thing, find a comfortable position for your head, and then either choosing the legs out long or kick them slightly forward. The legs are going to reach away as we lift and lower that top leg. All the time thinking about length through the waist, length through that hip. Good. Are you ready for circles? So hip height, keep reaching as you circle. And reverse, go the other way, keep reaching. We're going to do the same that we did on the other side, so that bottom leg. So again, you can choose, it might feel different on this side. Leg either bent in front, standing on that foot, or behind. And then when you're ready, that bottom leg, flat foot is going to lift and lower. Keep reaching that leg. Really good. 2 more. Last one here. And as you lower that leg down and breathe, we're going to roll straight over onto our front for some back extension. So make your way onto your front now. We're going to bring our hands just in front of our shoulders. Take a moment to anchor your pubic bone into the floor. Slightly tuck your tailbone to lengthen your lower back and roll your shoulders away from your ears. On an in-breath, press your hands into the floor and lift the back of your head towards the sky. As you exhale, you're going to slowly roll all the way back down. Go again on an in-breath, pressing your hands into the floor, lifting the head away. And exhale as you lower back down. So again, doesn't matter how high you lift, just keep it controlled. Trying to stop any nipping, any shortening of that lower back. And if it feels like it's bothering your lower back, find that tuck of the tailbone again to give us length. And maybe think about drawing your ribs into your body rather than pushing the ribs forwards. Two more like this. Last one here. And as you lower yourself down this time, bring your hands around to the front so that you can rest your forehead on your hands. And just take a moment to rock your hips gently side to side, just freeing off any gripping through your low back. So we're going to take it into a little bit of hip extension here. So again, anchoring that pubic bone, slightly tucking that tailbone and reaching one leg away from you, making that leg as long as you can. Let it lift from the floor and then lower. Same on the other side, reach the leg long, let it lift and lower. Keep going. Try to keep your pelvis anchored, so try not to have your whole body tip side to side as you lift the leg. Thinking more about reach and length of that leg rather than how high it lifts. Can you do one more on each leg? And as you lower your leg down this time, let's rock those hips side to side. Again, just a little release for your back. So staying in this position, we're going to do some little hamstring curls now. So we're going to bend one knee and bring your heel towards your bottom. Let's have a flat foot as you bring your heel towards your bottom. And then lower that leg down towards the floor. Other side, flat foot, bring your heel towards your bottom. And then lengthen and reach that leg back down to the floor. So really slow, really control. And I want you to find this work in your bottom and the back of your thigh. So as you draw that heel towards you, can you find that work? Can you feel that your back of your thigh and your bottom kind of squeezes? And if you're not really sure that it's doing any work, give it a little reminder, give it a little squeeze of your bottom as you bring that heel in. A little squeeze as you bring it in. Alright, pause there. Let's do it with a pointed foot this time. So instead of it being a flat foot, point those toes as you bring the heel towards your bottom. Harder to find it now in your bottom. A little bit more now around the fronts of your thighs maybe. That's okay. And so bringing that leg in and lower. And in. And lower. Pausing there. So we're going to put those two together. So we're going to bring one leg in. We're going to have a flat foot. So bring a flat foot towards your bottom for a little kick. Start to reach the leg away and then point the toe and bring a pointed foot in for a little kick. And then lowering that leg all the way to the floor. Other side. So we've got a flat foot comes in, little kick. Start to reach the leg away, point the toes and again little kick. And then lowering all the way to the floor. So again, we're going to do a little flat foot kick, a little pointed foot kick, and then lowering all the way to the floor. And again, flat foot kick, pointed foot kick, and all the way to the floor. One more on each side. Flat foot, pointed foot, and lower. Last time. Flat foot, point foot, and lower all the way down. Again, just a little rock, gentle, backwards and forwards, side to side, just a little wriggle. And then we're going to push ourselves up and back into that child's pose to give your back and your glutes a good stretch out here. Finding that child's pose, and let's just take a couple of breaths. Good job. Okay, we're going to go back over onto our back again now. So make your way back over onto your back. And we've got another little abdominal exercise to do here. So this is it's a little bit more challenging. We've done it before. Let's all do the kickstand to start with. So making a triangle with your first finger and thumb and just popping it under your pelvis. Because what I'm wanting to do with this is I'm wanting your pelvis to kind of roll towards you, like it's going to roll downhill. So we've got our little kickstand, and we're going to bring those legs in and take the legs up towards the sky. And then I want you to cross one ankle over the other. And then what we're going to do is we're going to think now about bringing the legs towards us and letting your pelvis roll downhill to try and just lift your bottom off your hands. And then let it come back down. Let's try that again. So we've got the ankles crossed. Bringing the legs towards us. We're kind of rolling down our hands to just lift our bottom off our hands. And if you don't like that kickstand, you can have your hands down. It just makes it a little bit easier to find that rolling downhill of your pelvis with the hands there. Or obviously if you've got a towel, you can use a towel. And do a few of those, so nice and gentle, nice and controlled, rolling downhill, just a little lift of the bottom and then down. And we don't want to be flinging and using a lot of momentum. We want it to be really controlled. Can you do two more? Now, obviously we need to do the other side. So we're going to open the legs and then cross the other way. And then again, can you find that little roll downhill and that little lift of your bottom? Now, if you can't lift, but you can kind of bring the legs in towards you and feel that work in your abdominals, that's good enough. It doesn't matter if you don't quite get the lift. Just wanting to work those deep abdominals. Again, control it, no flinging. Do you find it's harder one side to the other? I find it a little harder on this side. Last one. Whew, and then bend the knees in. Bring your hands around, give those knees a little hug and rock gently side to side. Now I always feel that in my abdominals when we do those little cross ankles. A little rock side to side. And then taking those arms out to a T. Keep your knees in towards your chest. Take those arms out to a T, palms face up, roll your chest and shoulders open. And then finding tabletop with those legs. We're going to do a little spine twist here, so don't go too far, but roll your knees to one side. Coming in through centre and over to the other side. You can make this movement as big or as small as you like, but do try and keep your shoulder blades and your ribs anchored, so the twist is just from your waist down. Now, you might choose to stay here in tabletop with this little twist, or you might choose to straighten those legs out. If you've gone for a straight leg, make it super small to begin with. You can always go further next time, because there's a lot more weight and a lot more load with the straight leg. When you're ready, as you're coming through centre, bring the knees in. Let's give the knees a little hug and again a little reset there. So we're going to have a little play with some corkscrew movements next. So we're going to go back to knees in that tabletop position, or legs in that tabletop position. I'm going to squeeze the knees together. I like arms out to a T, but you might choose to have your arms down by your sides for a little bit more support and stability. Completely up to you. Okay, so squeezing those knees together. We're going to take the knees over to our right, just a couple of inches, and then we're going to circle down around to the left, and then bringing them back into centre. Let's go the other way. So we're going to squeeze the knees, take them to the left, circle down around to the right, and then bring them back into centre. Again, right, down around to the left, and centre, and left, down around to the right, and centre, right, down around to the left, and centre, and left, down around to the right, and knee hug. Bring it in and just rock gently side to side. Kind of like that. Again, it's a little bit of abdominal work, and it's a nice way to get that corkscrew movement in. We're going to do it again, and again you can choose now whether you want to do exactly as we did there with the legs in tabletop, or if you want to try it with a straight leg. Again, straight leg, more weight, more load, more challenge. So either tabletop or legs to the sky. Squeezing the legs together, whichever version you're choosing. Take the legs to the right, circle down around to the left and centre, and to the left, down around to the right and centre, right, down around to the left and centre, left, down around to the right, centre. Let's go right, down around, left, centre, and left. Last one, down around to the right, and knee hug. Bring it in and just rock gently, side to side. Really good. We're going to make our way over onto all fours next. So take your time, but come on over onto your hands and knees. And we're going to do our Superman. So if you have a knee that you don't want to kneel on, you can just have one leg out straight if kneeling on both knees isn't an option today. So Superman, we're going to have our fingers spread wide, our thumbs point towards each other, our elbow pits forwards. I want you to find that point at which your shoulder blades are nice and wide on your back. So they're not collapsing in, they're not super wide, they're just kind of nice and stable. And we're going to keep those shoulders still. We're going to lift one hand from the floor, just lift it off the floor to begin with. Make sure that the shoulders stay still and then place that hand back down. Let's do the other side. Can you lift the hand without the shoulders collapsing and place the hand down? All right, this time we're going to reach the hand across towards the front of your mat and then lift. Do the shoulders still stay still? Lowering the hand, slide it back in. Other side. Reach the hand to the front of your mat. Can you lift the hand and lower and draw back in without those shoulders collapsing? Do one more on each side. Can you lift and lower? And the other side. Can you lift and lower? Okay, we're happy with the shoulders. Let's try the legs this time. Think about your pelvis. Both hip bones are pointing down at the floor. We're going to keep them like that. Can you lengthen one leg out long on the floor? And then can you lift that leg without twisting your pelvis? Lowering the leg down and sliding the knee in. How about the other side? Can you reach the leg long? Can you lift and lower and slide back in? Again, can you lengthen and lift? Lower and slide in. One more. How about if you feel like it, can you do opposite arm, opposite leg, reach out long and then lift and lower and slide in. Now you've got options here. You don't even have to lift the hand and the leg. You could just reach them forwards and then draw them back in. You could just stay with arms. You could just stay with legs. Just working on whatever feels like that's where you need to be right now. Good job, one more time. And then we're going to come off our hands. So just come off your hands for a moment. We are going to go back onto our hands again in a minute. So let's just give our wrists a little twirl around. Give them a little shake out. Whatever you feel that they need. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to step into a plank position, and then I'll show you. Let me show you first while you just shake out your wrists. So we're on all fours. We're going to find a plank. So we're going to take the legs back 1, 2, and then we're going to step the feet in and hover the knees 1, 2, and then step back to that plank and then step in. Now, if you don't like having those knees hovering, you can absolutely go knee down, leg long, leg long. All right, so we've got a few little options there. When you're ready, find that plank position. Fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other, elbow pits forwards. So stepping out into your plank, step, step, and then either choosing to step in and knee hover, or to step in, knee down, knee down. And we're going to keep moving. And if you're choosing a knee hover, try and have your knees close to the floor, because if you step in and your knees are really high, that's cheating. We want the knees just hovering off the floor. You do one more. Woo. And then come on off your wrists again. Let's give them a good stretch. Bring your elbow in by your side, palm faces up. Using your other hand to pull those fingers back. So we're stretching the fingers. Don't forget, we also want to stretch at that wrist as well. While we get our breath back. Gently pulling each finger in turn back. And doing those different combinations of fingers just to really get in there and stretch everything out. Give them a wriggle. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Elbow tucks in, palm faces up. Pulling those fingers back. Again, reaching that wrist. And then gently pulling each finger in turn back to stretch out those fingers. And doing again, just those different combinations. Just to really get in there and make sure you've stretched everything. Give everything a good wiggle. And we're going to do a kind of like a little reverse plank almost. So we're going to come down onto our bottom. We're going to have our knees bent and our feet on the floor and our hands behind us. Now you can choose your hand position here. If having your fingers pointing towards your bottom is not a happy place for your wrists, and it isn't for a lot of people, turn your fingers out to the sides. That tends to be a little bit more comfortable. Try it and see. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to push into our heels, we're going to push into our hands, and we're going to lift our bottom off the floor. You can have it just hovering, and then lower it down. And we're going to play with this, and we're going to see if we can come up higher. Pressing into your heels, pressing into your hands. Can you lift your bottom? Can you lift it a little higher? How high can you lift it? Can you come into like a little table position? And then can you lower down with control to bring your bottom all the way back down? Now if you need to come off your wrists at any time for a little wriggle and a little stretch out, then do. Otherwise we're going to keep lifting our bottom and then lowering all the way back down to the floor. Good job. So you can keep those feet and knees hip width apart. Watch for those knees wanting to roll in towards each other. If they're wanting to roll in towards each other, you can bring your feet and knees together and do it with those knees squeezing. But you might find that restricts how high you can go. I like feet and knees hip width. Really good. Can you do one more like that? And then we're going to stretch out those hands and those wrists again. And as you come down this time, again, come on off those wrists. Give them a little shake. Give them a little twirl around. Whew, good job. Okay, so we're going to find our cobbler position seated. If you need something to sit on to lift you a little higher to make it more comfortable, feel free to grab a cushion, anything that you've got handy. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. If you want to bolster and you want some cushions under the outsides of your legs to make it easier for you to relax here, grab something. Always got the option to bolster yourself. And then we're going to try and sit tall here. And then we're going to see if we can keep that nice tall spine, but can you lean slightly forward so you're kind of closing the space between your torso and your legs. You're kind of folding forwards, but keeping that flat back. And then just gently come back up. Even if you don't barely move, maybe if you move a millimetre, that's fine. Let's again hinge slightly forward. And then just coming back up. We're going to just stay with this a few times, just as far as feels okay for you, flat back. We're just hinging slightly forwards. Coming back up. Really good for getting deep into those hips. Good. Just one more like this, coming slightly forwards, and we're going to stay forwards this time and just hold for a couple of breaths. How about if you drop your chin to your chest here as well? And then when you're ready, gently coming out of that. We're going to straighten our legs out now. So legs are going to go out long, and we're going to have those legs together. We're going to do a seated spine twist. So we want to sit tall. And we're going to have our hands across our chest. Let me sit this way. We're going to have our hands across our chest here. We're going to grow super tall through the top of the head. And then as we twist, we're going to twist as far as we can to one side. We're going to come in through centre, and we're going to twist as far as we can to the other side. Let's do that. Keep going from side to side. And you might notice that you don't twist quite as far as you thought that you did. And that's quite normal. We don't actually have that much rotation. A lot of it comes from our shoulders and our arms, and that's why we've taken them out of it, just to see how much of a true twist we have. And I want you to think about this twist coming from your belly button there. So if you're straight ahead, as you twist, how far around does your belly button go? And they say about 45 degrees is about normal, is about average. Alright, Alright, as you come in through centre this time, let's take the arms out to the side, palms face down. Again, let's grow tall, take a breath here, and let's twist in through centre. Don't you feel like you can get a lot further when we've got those arms going? And it is really the shoulders and the arms that are twisting much more, because if you again bring your attention to your belly button, which is not something that we talk about in class very often, but it's not going any further, is it? Still going about that 45 degrees-ish. Let's do one more to each side. Twist and in and twist and in. And as you come in this time, lower your legs, lower your arms. These are arms, aren't they? Not legs. Okay, we're going to do one leg wide and bring one leg in. So I've got one leg out and one leg in. And we're going to do a twist and a side bend here. Again, feel free to grab cushions and to bolster you as much as you need to. And if having your legs like this is not a comfortable position, just sit in a comfortable position for you. If you are happy like this, we're going to have that long leg, heel pushing away, pulling the front of the foot towards you to give us more length down the back of that leg. All right, so we're going to twist towards the bent knee. So when you're ready, twist towards your bent knee. Let this inside arm rest on that long leg. The other arm is going to go up towards the sky, and we're going to do a side bend over that long leg. So the hand that's on the leg can slide down towards your ankle as you side bend. And then we're going to come up, lowering the arm down to the floor, and then twist back into centre. We're going to do that again. Are you ready? Grow tall. Twist towards the bent leg first. And again, the inside hand is resting on that long leg, outside arm to the sky, and side bend. I have too many words this morning and not enough brain to put them in order. And coming down and twist back to centre. Let's do one more time. Twisting towards the bent leg. Arm up, side bend over, and when you're ready, come up, lowering the arm, and twist back to centre. We're just going to do the same on the other side, so switch your legs. And again, if this isn't a happy position for you, find something that is. If that leg is out long, pushing out through the heel, pulling the front of the foot towards you, sit tall. Twist towards your bent leg. Inside hand is going to rest on the long leg. The other hand is going to go to the sky. And we're going to side bend over that long leg. When you're ready, gently coming up, lowering the hand down, and twist back to centre. Again, twist to the bent leg. Arm up to the sky, side bend over that long leg, and up, lowering the arm, and twist back to centre. One more time like that, twist. Arm comes up, side bend over that long leg, and up, release the arm, and come back in through centre. Really good. We're going to go back onto hands and knees for cat-cow next. So when you're ready, make your way onto your hands and knees. Now, if you're not happy on your hands and knees, you can always do cat-cow seated, where we're just going to round and extend the spine. So remember, you don't have to do it on hands and knees if that's not good for you today, or you've had enough. So finding your cat-cow position, you're going to tuck your bottom under, you're going to round your back, making it as rounded as you can. Pausing there for a moment, and then we're going to go the other way. You're going to stick your bottom out. You're going to lengthen through your spine. Head is the last thing to move. Go again, at your own pace, between those two positions. Trying to get as much movement in that lower back particularly as possible. Obviously we want the whole back to move, but it tends to be that very lower back that doesn't want to round or extend. Tends to get very stiff. Couple more of those. And then as you come in through centre this time, pause there. Okay, so fingers spread wide again, check that. Check the thumbs are pointing towards each other and your elbow pits are forwards. We're going to find our plank again here. So where are your shoulders? Get those shoulders nice and stable. And then we're going to step the legs back one at a time into that plank position. Once you're in your plank, Pike your bottom up towards the sky to find that downward facing dog. And can you pedal those feet? Bending each knee in turn, walking the dog. And then you might choose to walk your hands towards your feet or walk your feet towards your hands. Whichever option you choose, you're going to keep the knees soft, you're going to drape forwards over your legs, making sure that you are anchored and grounded and stable through your feet. And on an in-breath, we're going to start to gently roll up. Start to open those arms out, reaching your arms up towards the sky as you grow tall, and then exhale as you reach and lower the hands down. We're going to go back down to the floor, take a breath, chin to chest, and exhale as you soften and roll down towards the floor. Once you're down, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands down, and then we're going to step those legs back to find that plank again here. Pike your bottom up towards the sky. Let's find that downward facing dog again. Pedaling those feet. Maybe choosing the other option this time. If you walked your feet in last time, maybe try walking your hands in this time. Choose an option that works for you. And again, find yourself in that rolled down position. Pausing for a moment to let your body settle. Ground down through your feet, and on an in-breath, roll up to standing. Opening the arms out wide. Bringing your arms up towards the sky and then gently releasing those hands down. We're going to stand with feet hip width apart now. Rise up onto the balls of your feet as you reach your arms up towards the sky. Circle the arms out to the sides, lowering your heels as you lower your hands. Let's do two more. Rise up, reach, and circle, and lower. Rise up, grow tall, circle the arms, lowering your hands as you lower your heels. Let's go again, reach, grow tall. Circle the hands as you lower your heels, one more time, reach, grow tall, circle, and release. Just ragdoll arms, gentle twist, side to side. Well done. You are all finished. I hope that was okay for you, and thank you so much for being here.